Share of active credit card accounts making just the minimum payment hitting a 12-year high. That's not good. This is West Michigan's Morning News. I am Steve Kelly, financial strategist, founder of Your Dedicated Fiduciary. Vance Barse on the live line. Vance, thanks for doing this today.
Good morning, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here.
So those of us that have been around a little while financially know that this interest thing is going to get you on the end if you're just making the minimum payment. Why are so many Americans in credit card trouble?
What an excellent looking question. Well, let's go back to a little thing that we call COVID, when the domestic and global economies were literally forced to shut down. Millions of people are in their homes, unable to move, unable to work, and had literally no option but to tap whatever nest egg and or rainy day fund they had simply to live, which then forced them to turn to their only option, credit cards, which has saddled them with what I like to call very bad debt. And that is why we are in the situation we're in.
Yeah. So how can we begin, maybe even incrementally, to march things back the other way? Is any of this behavioral? Is a percentage of those people making bad decisions about purchases?
Some, yes. And for many others, it's simply their only option because inflation has been so high. It's interesting because when we look at the inflation rates reported by governmental agencies such as the Fed, for example, they make certain assumptions. Well, people aren't buying the bottom shelf plain white vanilla bread. They buy Dave's Killer Bread from aisle 13 at Costco, and the cost of that bread is significantly more than the data point that is included within the data. So it's simply to keep up with the inflation. Some people do apply discretionary expenses to credit card spending, but at the end of the day, the way to get out of unhealthy credit card debt is that bad B word, budget. You have to budget, look at your income and cash flow, trim out the unnecessary expenses, and by all means, drop that bad debt like a bad habit.
Listen, I don't want to sound defensive here, but I got a free sample of Dave's bread, and it was really good, all right? So there was that part of the thing. And on the other side of that, it sounds so basic, but can you give me 30 seconds on how do you do a budget?
First and foremost, you can Google Vance Barse, find the website, and we're happy to email you a free one-page budget snapshot where you look at the income you have by way of employment and any other sources of income and categorically outline the major expenses that you have: home, auto, food, etc. And then look at certain unnecessary expenses. Do you need 5 different subscriptions for your TV? Are you sitting around all day watching TV? Because if the answer is no, maybe select one and incrementally over time start to cut down on that bad debt. Now, why is it bad debt? Credit card debt is bad debt because the cost to hold that is generally, in today's interest rate environment, about 25%, meaning you're spending 25% for every dollar, or 25 cents for every dollar that you have on that credit card balance, and you don't get a tax deduction for that. We are currently heading into tax season. The type of debt that is healthy or good debt is debt on which you get a tax deduction, such as your mortgage, on an asset that appreciates over time, such as your primary residence. And that, my friend, is how we climb out of credit card debt.
Financial strategist, founder of Your Dedicated Fiduciary. We'll get it in the podcast section at woodradio.com for you to share. Vance Barse, great stuff. Thanks for your time today.
Pleasure being here, Steve. Thank you.